If you were to give a mother whose son or daughter, or both in your case, were about to be deployed, what sort of advice would you give them?
Doing this again, or coming alongside a young mom that, not necessarily young, I'm not young, but alongside a mom where their child is chosen to go this direction. For me, what has done, I mean, that's been my grounding is my faith, and my trust in my God, in Jesus Christ, but knowing that they are His, and knowing that I have done everything I can to expose their dreams and direct their dreams and pour into them in love and support, and to encourage them to launch, and to launch well, whatever that might be, whether that's produces fear in me, or the unknown, or releasing my babies, whatever it is, that it's my desire, my heart's desire as a mom is to help them to launch well, whatever that is. So that's trust. That's a trust in your, knowing that you've done what you can, and what you didn't do that you should have done, that is water under the bridge, and you have to just do the best you can to support and encourage them from this point forward.
Of course.
And then what I've heard is huge is communicating with them. You may never get a letter back, but just keep sending letters every day, sending a letter. So they may not get mail for 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time, but when they do, they get flooded. And that, I guess, is apparently huge for them.
Really interesting.
It's really important, and oftentimes because they don't get the news, they don't get to read paper, they don't have access to what we have bombarding us every day, and they just want to know that I mowed the lawn today, or that I took the dog for a walk. I mean, it's just home. It's just that connection to their family and to home that seems to be really valuable for them when they're away. Someone else gave me that advice.
Well, see?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions from what we've heard so far? It's been a beautiful story.
I guess, what do they come home and tell you that's exciting or challenging to them, Marcus and Julia?
Marcus, when he went away for basic, he was our first to ever go away from home like that. Connor, our oldest that did the paramedic program, was 15 miles from home, and he could come home. He lived at the station, but he could come home on a weekend or a night or an evening, and we would see him once in a while. So there was that touching base, and kind of almost like, to me, raising children is almost like a game of baseball. When they're little, you're wrapped around them, around the t-ball, and you're helping them you're doing it for them basically, but you're right there, and then then you move back and you take the tea away, and so as they grow, you are in a different place. Your job changes. And so for Connor, that was a nice, Lexi, our daughter, still in town, so there was still good communication. We still had connection with them, saw them. Marcus was our first one that left, like really left, and we had no contact, no nothing, and that was really hard. And then the first not the first official phone call where they read you the little script, but the first family weekend when you or whatever it is, when they actually get to talk with you for 10 or 20 minutes. And we had him on Skype, and I'm going to cry because as soon as that camera came on, and as soon as we were watching him, and he's watching the screen, and we weren't on yet, and as soon as he saw our faces, he just broke. And he's not one to do that, and he just broke. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is such a huge, impactful thing on his life, and it connected us in a way that we had never been connected before, because we had never experienced something like that before. So Julia was a little different. She went to Relax in Jackson, so things were a little different. The basic, when she went away, it was still very, very hard. And it was our daughter, and we had heard about, you hear the stories, and but it was just a little different with her, maybe because she was the second one to go.
Maybe you were more
So we
prepared
kind of
also.
knew what was going to happen, and we were more prepared. And Marcus was wonderful. It's like, Mom, she's going to be okay. This is going to happen. And then, like, he walked us through it because he had just gone through it the summer before. So he literally walked us through it as she was going through it. And he walked her through it before she ever left. So, because they're best friends, they're like super close. And so it was easier, I honestly have to say, even though it was my girl and it was my baby, my youngest child, it still was easier with her. And she agrees. She feels like it was easier for her than it was for him because he was the first to go through that.